that were for it.
The first petition was turned down because some way, and I forget the exact wording, that Judge Porter ruled against the first petition because of the way it was signed. At that point, we took the petition around and had people to sign it. So the next time we actually opened up an office in Mr. James Netherland's accounting office. People came in and signed the petition.
Instead of me wanting somebody to steal them and do away with them, I carried them. I was music director at a church over there on the Old Brandon Road, and so I would carry them with me wherever I would go every day, to the church, to
Alderman Williams. Here. Alderman Dennis. Here. Alderman Stevenson. Here. Alderman Foy. Here. And Alderman Knight. Here.
This evening, we're going to have Alderman Dennis say the prayer for us.
Sure. Let's pray. Then, Father, I just thank you for the many blessings that you provide for each and every one of us, that everything we have, Lord, is given from you. I pray for guidance and wisdom and each serve this city and all capacity. I pray, Lord, for safety throughout the rest of the week. Keep us safe. Amen.
Alderman Knight, will you go on the pledge for us?
Attention, salute, flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You'll see the board a little bit different tonight. Our city clerk is involved with a special election, so our city attorney is acting as our city clerk as well. So go ahead, sir.
Appreciate it. All items under this heading will be considered to be approved with one motion and one vote. If further discussion is desired on any item, it will be automatically removed from the consent agenda and will be considered as a general business item.
Can you repeat that?
Can we slow down? Just for you.
Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda? All right. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. Moving on.
Sorry. Determine, public hearings, determine whether or not a dimensional variance should be granted to Celeste and Douglas Harrison to allow them to build a 900 square foot attached garage on their property at 859 Walden Pond.
Is anyone here representing 859 Walden Pond? Sir, would you please approach the podium? Just tell us a little bit about what your plans are and what kind of materials are you looking at using to build this?
What I'd like to do is a 30 by 30 garage, going to be wood framed up and then vinyl side with a metal roof, just like the home is right there to match.
So all materials are going to match the home that you have there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And then run the concrete driveway to the street from that.
All right. Brad, do you mind approaching the podium? I know that this variance is coming through your department. Would you like to speak on it?
Yeah, like I said, where the gentleman, Walden Pond, he is at a dead end of the road. Just got through moving, there's a brand new home he just had put in. Like I say, you know, I would recommend the variance for the garage, you know.
Okay.
So,
Gentlemen, y'all have any questions? Okay. Is anyone here to speak in opposition of it? If not, is there a motion to approve? All right, there's two motions on the floor. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Moving on.
Determine whether or not a conditional use permit should be granted to Samuel and LaRosa Thompson to place a mobile home on their property on Knight Road, parcel G836.
Is anyone here representing that address? Yes, sir. Do you mind approaching the podium? Hey, how are y'all this evening?
All right, good. How you are?
Can y'all tell us just a little bit about what your plans are?
Well, we have land, on Knight Road, in the Greenfield community, and we have a mobile home that we bought, like 3 or 4 years ago. And we were trying to get permission to move the mobile home to our land.
Okay. The reason you're here tonight is that's a zoning of residential, and you're asking the board to consider, moving this in, and the request is a conditional use, so that's why you have to do it, just making sure you're clear on that.
Yes, sir.
All right.
How many acres do y'all have?
3 acres, sir.
3 acres.
Yes, sir.
Brad, I know that you've probably looked into this a little bit. Did you address the board about it?
Yeah, there are, you know, it's RE zoning, so there are other mobile homes in the area there. My recommendation is to stay consistent with the RE zoning for site-built homes. So,
Okay. All right. Any questions by the board at this point?
You said y'all purchased this mobile home, I think you said 3 years ago?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Between 3 and 4 years ago, yes, sir.
Where's it been?
It's in Stony Creek subdivision in Richland, Mississippi, now 49.
All right, good. Is the board gonna take the recommendation? Is there a motion to take the recommendation of the building official, or is there another motion at this time?
The recommendation is to stick with this.
stay consistent with the RE zoning, site-built home.
Well, we gotta stay on track on what we've been doing, so I
Right.
agree with you. I agree with his
I would recommend that maybe, you know, at a later date, if you wanted to build a site-built home, maybe asking for a variance on the square footage, you know. The RE is a minimum of 2,000 square feet.
We currently have homes, site-built homes going up in that area, right?
Correct.
Okay. All right.
A site-built home, sir, what would that be?
That's just your standard conventional home that you build out of, you frame up, have a slab. That's what you see out here in subdivisions, a site-built home.
I make a motion to take the recommendation by the building.
All right, there's a motion by Alderman Knight.
Second.
Is there a second? Is anyone here to speak in opposition to that? All right, all in favor to deny this conditional use, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. I'm sorry, Mr. Thompson, this conditional use has been not approved at this time.
Determine whether or not a conditional use permit should be granted to allow Angeles Centino to operate an intellectual development disability supervised living home at 801 Oak Brook Way.
Anyone here representing that development? Hey, how are you this evening?
Good, and you?
Good. Would you like to tell us a little bit about what you're proposing to the board?
Yeah, so we're providing, like individualized, home setting for people with mental health, disabilities. So instead of them being in institutions, they have a community setting where they can have like a sense of normalcy. Do you want to add on to that?
Yes, the home is currently, or the program is currently certified by the state, by the Mississippi Department of Mental Health. And it's a part of their program to acclimate people who have intellectual developmental disabilities, to the community so that they can live a life and grow, in the community and be acclimated to the community. Pretty similar to what we will have at Region 8, when they supervise living settings. They have some apartments, some homes, so pretty similar to that setup.
And just to add on, it's like if you have a family member with like a disability, and personally, I wouldn't want them living in a hospital for the rest of their lives, so this home serves as a way to have like, again, a sense of normalcy, and them living with other people that like gives them a sense of like home. So if you allow me, I'd like to approach the podium because I did create a little like presentation, but it shows you everything that the house, like pictures of the home and everything, so I hope that's okay.
Do you have a presentation for the board?
Yeah, it's just it's just pictures of the home because we already have the home and everything, so I'd like to just show you.
Is this in the middle of a neighborhood?
Yes.
Where is Oak Brook Way?
River Ridge. Brendan, would you like to comment?
Yeah, I think Brad has some concerns as well.
Yep.
Essentially, after listening to Brad, he has numerous concerns, and I think just the home health and the safety aspect of having this in a residential neighborhood, there's just a lot of questions. So I know Brad has those questions, which would like an opportunity to address those.
Yeah, just to kind of give you the way the building code interprets, this, a residential home neighborhood is considered a group R. This is in the R1 zoning. They're asking to change to the use to a group R3, which is in the care facility within a single family dwelling. And there are, that's for 5 or fewer persons. There are life safety things that would have to take place in there. It would require an R13 sprinkler system, fire alarm, fire extinguishers, fire suppression for any cooking equipment, and a Knox box for the home.
This medication cabinet, that just doesn't seem very secure.
So we have that under lock. With their medications, like we do have nurses on staff that provide medication training. It's not like they would have direct access. That only the staff is only allowed the key to that medication cabinet. And again, it is not required to have like a hospital system. So as long as it's under lock and key, it is okay per the Department of Mental Health to have the medication that way. But again, the staff is trained by a nurse, like a certified nurse provided by DMH, to give that medication training and know what to do, how to handle medications, and if they are on insulin or stuff like that, they are properly trained. And then in regards to the fire extinguisher and everything you said, we are like ready to handle all of that. So that's why we're here, because if we do get approved, of course, we know we need to have the fire alarms and like put everything into place that the house needs for the safety of the individuals and the community.
Sprinkle.
Right. It would take a 13R system. Right.
And just to add to that, so with the Department of Mental Health, they have a section of health and safety. So everything that you just named is under there. So we had to say that we will provide that in order to even be approved through the Department of Mental Health for this home in the first place. So fire extinguishers, anything suppressants, we would even train all the individuals that are there, because these people, they are like you and I, just a little, have some intellectual developmental disability, so they are able to function and use the fire extinguisher as well as staff will be able to use the fire extinguisher. We will also have all safety precautions that the Department of Mental Health has already put in place, which is based upon federal standards as well.
I think there may be some confusion. He's not talking about a fire extinguisher. He's talking
Sprinkler
about
system.
sprinkler system in the roof.
And
Yes.
we can definitely do that.
And how many people will be housed in this facility?
The maximum is 4, so we can't exceed 4.
And how many bedrooms?
It's 4 bedrooms, but
How many baths?
2. was there's one grand master bathroom and then an additional off to the side. We do have one bedroom that houses two, and then we would go about that by signing a consent form that if it's okay with each individual to, if they're okay with having like a buddy in the room. But again, if they're not, we do have other rooms available that would let them have their own privacy.
And how many people will be employed at this facility?
One or two for right now.
So, yeah, the ratio is at least 1 to 2 people per person, per 4 people. And so the maximum is 4, can exceed 4. So if we have one person, of course, 1 staff, but if we have up to 4, there'll be 2 staff, and then they'll rotate.
So where will your staff stay? You only have 4 bedrooms, you have 4 hours,
Staff is working, they're not sleeping or staying.
24 hours.
So they're on 12-hour shifts.
Yeah, it's like a nurse. Like, you know, we come in, we're taking care of our patients, and then we leave. And then another nurse comes in and takes over.
Essentially, these are these people's homes, once they, because we get them from the regional facility, and so this is their home, they want to be acclimated to the community, and they're able to maybe sustain life, on their own. Staff is only there to assist them, with whatever they may need. And so that's the purpose of the staff being there. They're not living there. The people that we're serving are living there.
Okay, so if you have 4 people in the facility plus the staff, will they have visitors coming in and out also?
The people who live there can, just like you and I, we want to have family come visit or anything like that. We can do that, but the staff, no.
Yeah, and in that regard, we will also have a visitation log, so whoever walks into the house has to sign a visitation and, like, sign the page, like what time they were there, what time are they out. So, yeah, I hope that answers your question.
So it's kind of like a nursing home in the neighborhood is what it's like.
Well, not a nursing home. So we
Yeah,
want
pretty
to,
much.
we want to make sure that the thought of it, because this is not a new concept. This is something that has been certified through the Department of Mental Health for many, many years throughout the state. So it's not a new concept. It is just people who have intellectual development disabilities are able to stay in neighborhoods, amongst people, so that they will not feel institutionalized.
And just to add on, if you don't know what these individuals are, it's individuals with autism, schizophrenia, personality disorder. So, yeah, these are the people that would be staying in the home. So, yeah.
Good afternoon. My name is Jacqueline. I would like to add something that you forgot. Angelis is a registered nurse, and you can say she's finishing her DMP in psychiatric. So she's working over here in a clinic. What's the name of the clinic?
Yeah, so I work in Ridgewood Clinics. I'm finishing up my practicum hours, so I do have a lot of experience in this field. And I did work prior at multiple group homes as well. So I'm not just doing this and I don't know what I'm doing. I very much know how group homes work. And then I also think that finishing up my doctoral degree in psychiatry will also help me better assist the community.
Yeah, and also Ms. LaShawn worked at the Department of Mental Health, so she has a lot of experience. She was working there, so she knows, how these kind of facilities operate. I also have a lot of experience, 70 years working in group homes in Florida. So then I'm part of this team, and the beautiful thing about the community of Pearl, which she's gonna have the group home, is like there is only 4 consumers, 4 clients. So, and I don't see they cannot have the opportunity to live in a home setting and not to be institutionalized like there are many institutions here in Mississippi, which we have family members that has autism too. So we understand how the families feel without help, because they need a help, and they have the right, based on the Housing Act amended on 1988, they have the right to live in a community setting. So they're not gonna be a problem for the neighborhood, because if you see the house, it is set to prevent any situation. We know that situations can happen, but the most important is we have a nurse over here, we have a person that have a master's degree and a lot of experience to deal with these consumers. So if they having any crisis, just to say a crisis, because we don't having a behavioral right now facility. It's just like a home setting facility, and then we know how to deal with the situation, especially that Angelis is in that field too. So we are just came over here in a humble way to see if you can give us the opportunity to try to change the life or improve the life of this population. And I know that Angelis and Ms. LaShawn are gonna do a great job, which, you know, this kind of community needs. So thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, ladies. Thank you, I appreciate it. We're gonna, I'm gonna have the city attorney weigh in on this at this time. Obviously, you can see that the board has some concerns, so I'm gonna let Attorney Sarton speak to it at this time.
Yeah, so obviously Brad, the building official, has concerns. We've just seen this, so we'd like an opportunity to at least review it and have an opportunity to get a little more, bit more of an understanding of what y'all's intention is and get a better idea of it. So knowing that, though, I think this is the public hearing portion of the conditional use. So this is this portion. We'll conclude it, but I'd like an opportunity to at least have a meeting with us, y'all, Brad, me, and then so we can report back to the board on it. But this would at least satisfy the public hearing portion of the conditional use.
From my standpoint, to the board, that would be a recommendation to take no action at this time so we can further discuss. Okay?
So
Thank
we'll
you.
be in touch. Brad will reach out so we can talk. And thank you.
All right,
Yes, ma'am.
thank you. I don't believe we have any more business, do we, tonight, at this time?
Mercifully.
Yeah. You're glad. You did pretty good, Brady.
Thanks.
Yeah. As we do each board meeting, at the time of adjournment, we do have people that we want to adjourn in the memory of. Two this evening. One is Zachary Loomis, young man that lost his life about a week ago. We certainly want to lift up his family in prayer. I'm familiar with that family and friends with that family. I know that they are grieving at this time, so we just ask for God to provide peace for them as they move forward through this tough providence. Also, Dot Henderson, she recently passed away. Miss Henderson was 94 years old, and she lost her fight to dementia, and she made it clear that she would be with her Savior as soon as she closed her eyes. So, Miss Henderson lived right here behind Community Bank for well over 60 years, and she was a great woman. So both families, we just want to lift them up in prayer tonight. So at this time, could we?
I have one, Mayor. Also,
Okay, I'm
James
sorry.
Cooper,
Okay, that's right.
Reverend James Cooper, lifelong resident of Pearson community, lost his life, and we'd like to commemorate him also.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Alderman Knight, for making sure that we recognize Reverend Cooper. Again, we just want to lift those families up and honor them tonight. So with that being said, is there a motion to adjourn in their memories?
Exactly.
All right. There's two motions on the floor. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? This meeting's adjourned. Have a good evening.
on it. So the next time we actually opened up a office in Mr. James Netherlands' accounting office, people came in and signed the petition.
Instead of me wanting somebody to